Go ahead and start it off because you're a Charger fan.
Look, if I was going to give them a grade, man, I'd go with a B minus. Too many dumb
A
decisions
B
on fourth down.
minus?
What, you think it should be higher or lower?
Lower.
I mean, I look at their team, right? This is just me.
Yeah.
They have a top 5 quarterback in football. They have a decent O-line. They have a great left tackle. They have Eckler. They have Mike Williams, whatever. Although they have a lot of like stars, but they don't have like a lot of just solid. Like they have a lot of flash. They don't have a lot of substance. That's why any team who wants to run the ball on them all day can. That's why Brandon Staley has to go for it on fourth down because they're in shitty positions, even though he shouldn't go for it sometimes. You don't always have to fucking go for it. You can just punt the ball and play defense. So I would give them a B minus. Like I was a little underwhelmed, but they still saw really good signs of a team that I just don't think's there yet. And going into the offseason one, they have the third most cap in the league. You saw what the Bengals did with the quarterback on a rookie deal. Time to go for it. They kind of went for it. They got Corey Linsley, but now it's time to really go for it.
To me, I'm gonna give them a D plus.
You're a harsh grader one.
I mean, look, I just think the expectations for this team, it's a lot higher than other people give them credit for. Like, how many games did Justin Herbert win last year with Anthony Lynn? What, like 7 games, I believe? 6, 7 games?
7. Well, I mean, it's a 2-game improvement, and they're in a tough division. I mean, the Raiders are a playoff team. Raiders are a fucking playoff team.
You can't beat the dysfunctional Raiders?
Hey, y'all got something there, I think. Now you're talking shit about your team when it suits
now
you.
Now we got something there. Look, I'm giving them a D plus. I think they have one of the most talented rosters. They got one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and they didn't get it done this year. It was about making the playoffs, point blank. Period. They did not do that,
bro. They basically had a playing game.
Yeah, but you lost it,
dude.
I
understand that. I understand that, but you say they have star power. But other than the stars, it's just not a lot. It's like, hey, we're real top heavy. There ain't no fucking substance here. There's no guy in the middle. You're like, wow, we got Bosa. Then who else you got? Nobody really. You got Nwansu, who's okay.
And Nwansu was pretty good.
I like him, yeah.
But to me, Brandon Staley's on the hot seat.
Oh, 100% agree. Just the way he coached was like. Some coaches coach one. I feel like Matt LaFleur doesn't really. He never does anything to lose them the game. Brandon Staley's like, I'm gonna win us the game or lose us the game. It wasn't like I'm just gonna let this game play out. Like he always had a big imprint on the game with his decision making.
And we kind of did it for the Broncos in a different way because obviously a guy to get was Aaron Rodgers. But I want to ask you with the Chargers, and I kind of want to do this with almost every team we talk about before we move on. Pick one free agent or trade asset that you would want the Chargers to make this year.
I would go after Sebastian Joseph Day if I was the Chargers.
I like that.
The nose tackle from the Rams.
What's the reason why?
One, how soft are they on against the run?
Soft as Charmin, 32 against the run.
Okay.
Terrible.
Does he help alleviate that problem? It's just like when the Giants signed Snacks Harrison, Brandon Staley knows Sebastian Joseph Day. They need fucking big people. They have nobody big. They're like, oh, we got Jerry Tillery, who's 290. It's like, no, you need someone who's big, who can take up double teams, who can slow down the run. Akeem Hicks I had, who's just like a shittier version of him right now. I still like Akeem Hicks, but he's just a little long in the tooth. You got to do something about the defensive line. And just about how big they are. Like you can't always be a speed team one. You have to have some type of like big hulking guy.
Right. To me, I think a big upgrade for them would be getting a guy like Stephon Gilmore at corner.
They have good corners, just not anyone you're like, wow.
They do. They have a young corner in Asante Samuel, but I just think Stephon Gilmore, very similar to a guy like Jalen Ramsey. I know Gilmore's long in the tooth. He's 31 years old, but Brandon Staley had that Jalen Ramsey piece when he was coaching up the Rams. I think you gave him a lockdown corner. It's going to elevate that defense. Like the pass rushers will get better because they got pass rushers. They got Joey Bosa. Me and Max were just talking about it. Max is a little bit lower on Joey Bosa. He's not saying that he's bad. He just wants more out of him. I think he's still elite. He's an elite dude. They got one of the best safeties in the league in Derwin James, if not the
If
best.
he can stay healthy, which is we both want him to, as much as you hate the
Which he
Chargers.
did this year.
He did. He did. So on real quick, they have Mike Williams leaving. Do you think they need to keep him at all cost?
I wouldn't. I think he's gonna cost way too much.
I would
money.
definitely keep him for the right price. There's no need to give him $20 million a year.
Yeah, and I don't think they're gonna keep him for the right price. Receivers grow on trees. Second of all, you have Herbert. Herbert's gonna elevate your talent. Go into the draft a receiver, if anything.
Especially one with speed. They need some type of speed on this team.
They got Guyton, but yeah, someone a little bit like in the little bit younger and more talented. I feel you.
Yeah, and lastly, one before we move on, would you keep? I don't know how to say his name good. And Chenna and Wansu, the guy from USC, the edge.
USC,
I would keep him at all costs.
I would
he's
keep
super
him.
good. Yeah, I think he's really talented.
I think that's one of the free agents that a lot of people don't look at and can end up in Arizona or Baltimore. Ooh. You know what I mean? Like one of those
who could just make an impact. Yeah.
Right. So I would keep him.